Chris, thanks for joining us again for another team selection video brought to you by Billy's Cakes as we look towards our round 12 clash against Casey. It must be a nice feeling at the club at the moment to bounce back from the loss over Box Hill with a solid four-quarter effort over Sandy.
Certainly was. We were really happy with the duration of the game and how we played. Probably a couple of periods where we really let Sandy back in the game, which would be disappointing, sort of the end of the second quarter and even sort of late on in the game. I know the game was dead and buried, but they would have allowed them to get a few goals late. But as you said, overall it was really a strong four-quarter performance against a pretty good side that had a lot of quality AFL players running around. So look, Sandy came at us pretty hard, but we certainly met them head on, and to get the result was a really important victory given the landscape of the ladder at the moment. But as you said, just good to get back on the winners list, and obviously looking forward to Casey this week now.
Now, as you mentioned, Casey, who we play this week, they're sitting 13th on the ladder, but it's never an easy task to face them out at Casey Fields.
Yeah, certainly, and we've seen that in the past, the last two times we've played out there during the home and away season, that Casey are actually beaten us out there. So we know it's a really tough place to go and get a result. Casey are really good defensively. They're sort of really limiting the opposition to a low score, and I think they're the number one clearance side in the competition. So got a lot of good quality AFL listed players around the middle of the ground, guys like Mitchie, Evans, Tapscott, Big Maxi Gorn in the ruck. So it's going to be a really challenge. I think looking at the weather as well, it's probably going to be a tight, congested sort of game, looking with the amount of rain that was predicted. So we know it's going to be a real slog out there, and our guys are going to have to be really prepared to get down and dirty, and could be a real wet weather type of game of football.
Now on to team selection news, we've got another 23rd man making his VFL senior debut, Brett Bewley. Can you tell us a bit about him and his background? Yeah,
so Bewls came to us from the Western Jets, obviously co-captain of the Western Jets last year, so he was probably one of the most impressive performers for us over the pre-season. So really looking forward to seeing him get the opportunity. He had a really good game at development level last week. We've sort of played him in a few different roles at development level, just as part of his development, sort of down back, on ball, on a wing, even at half forward at times. But I think he's sort of going to come in and really play a role probably around sort of the front half of the ground, maybe jump on a wing at times. So look, he's really deserved his opportunity. He's a sort of a real, stronger upper body midfielder, but he's also got a pretty big running ability. So looking forward to seeing him out there on a big ground, and yeah, I'm sure he's going to really contribute to the team.
Now, our match against Casey is on the Saturday, but the following Tuesday we've got our big Foxtel Cup clash against East Perth. How have you gone about managing the side to make sure we've got fresh players for both games, I guess?
Well, for starters, I guess the VFL games are our number one priority, so we haven't really altered anything from that point of view. We've picked our best side for that, so we're going in obviously to get the 4 points. It's a crucial 4 points for us, so we'll be picking out the best side that we can to go and play Casey on Saturday. I guess the only thing that we've done, which is a bit different, is that we've probably going to rest about 4 or 5 guys from our development side. So that gives us a bit of fresh legs going over to Perth. So they won't play on the weekend, so they'll come in and be ready to go over in Perth. We obviously know it's a pretty big challenge to back up after a couple of days, but our number one priority is always going to be to get the 4 points this Saturday first and foremost. So hopefully we can all get through from an injury point of view with a pretty clean bill of health from the weekend, but we do know that we're going to have sort of 4 or 5 guys who are really on the fringe of senior selection and have been pretty close to the mark, so they're going to be ready to go, and we'll have them fresh going over to Perth. But as sort of mentioned, it's going to be number one priority to get the 4 points on Saturday, and then we'll worry about the Foxtel Cup after that.
Well, let's take a look at the side to face Casey this Saturday at Casey Fields.
So from the back line, Jack Charleston, Peter Force, David Fay. Half back, Nick Singh, Brad Mangan, Jack Johnston. Through the middle, Adam Markon, Ben Jolly, Brett Bewley. Half forward, Ben Davies, Ben Casley, Kane Lambert. Up forward, Lee Masters, Scott Clouston, Dylan Conway. On ball, Nick Meese, Ed Carr, Mitch Banner. And on our extended interchange, Anthony Anastasio, Jack Dorgan, Jake Owen, Sean Tye, Sean Hetherington, Anton Woods, Stephen McCullum, Jake McKenzie and Michael Gibbons.
So we've got a pretty big function coming up over our bye week in the coming weeks. Can you tell us a bit about that?
So yeah, we've got our ladies' night out, which is always a fun night for the ladies to come along. So that's on July 18th, which is a Friday night. So looking forward to seeing lots of our girlfriends, wives, family members coming along to that. So it's always a fun night out. So tickets are $50. You can get them by calling the club on 9391 0309, and all money raised on the night will be going to buy and purchase new medical equipment for our playing group. So really good cause and trying to raise some money for the boys. So it is a fun night, and encouraging all people to come along and attend that.
Just to finish off our video today, we've got our supporters bus operating this Saturday for our match against Casey. How can people get along to that?
It's a long way travelling out to Casey for some of our supporters, so great idea to jump on the bus with other fellow supporters and come along and cheer the boys on. So our supporters bus is leaving Mason Street in Newport at 10:30 on Saturday morning, so $15, get you a return trip. Stay out of the cold, don't worry about driving, and just jump on the bus. So you can, plenty of spots left. You can call the office on 9391 0309 anytime today or tomorrow and jump on the bus and come out and cheer the boys on. And what really is going to be a really important game for us to come up against Casey out there. So really important to go out there and get the result, and looking forward to seeing as many supporters there as possible.
Well, thanks for joining us once again, Chris, and best of luck on Saturday.
Cheers.